In today's busy life, most of us feel extremely overwhelmed considering the number of things we have to do in one single day. So, what we can do to help ourselves not to feel as overwhelmed and to organize our life and time better. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how to create a to-do list by following 5 simple steps. Stay tuned. Hello everybody, this is Samreen. I'm an academic by profession in the UK, and in today's video I'm going to talk about to-do list and how we can follow 5 simple and easy steps to create one for ourselves. Now personally, I swear by to-do list. You'll see my copies, my diaries, my smart devices, all of them have my to-do list for different projects and different tasks. And I personally think that it helps me immensely to organize my thoughts, to organize my mind, and eventually also organize my life. So let's see how you can create a to-do list. Step number 1. First of all, I always start by dumping every single thing which is on my mind on a piece of paper. You can do it on your piece of paper, on your smart device, on your notes section, on any of the app perhaps you are using. And by doing that, what happens is that you are really clearing your mind. And once we start visualizing everything, once you start seeing everything on a paper or in front of you in terms of device or any other way, it really helps us to see the things we have to do and also helps us to organize our time better. Now it could be a 5 task or 500, I hope not. But by doing that, by putting everything on that piece of paper, really enables you to take the next step in creating the to-do list. Step number 2. Look at all the tasks and look at the bigger tasks which can be then broken down into the smaller tasks. So I'll give you an example on that. While I was writing my PhD thesis, I had of course few chapters to go by. So I would break down the chapters into sections and subsections. Similarly, if you are working on a project which has many subparts, or if you are memorizing or prepping for your exam or the assignment, you can break down the bigger chapter into smaller sections, perhaps follow each question, or take each section or page so that it's easier for you and it doesn't really remain or it doesn't really haunt you as a big task. Because normally what happens is, the bigger the task, the more we feel anxious to even start it. So it's very important for us to break down those tasks into smaller tasks which are more doable. Also at this point, you can also identify the tasks which are the ones which are quite boring or you might not want to do it. So I'm referring back to my previous video where I was talking about eating the frog. If you have not watched that video, please click here to watch that. So by identifying those tasks can again enable you to see which task perhaps would require more attention or for what you have to prepare yourself more mentally. Step number 3. So following the first 2 steps where you have first of all dumped everything on a piece of paper, secondly you have identified the task which needs to be broken down further into smaller tasks, and also you identified the tasks which are the ones which are really hard to get done or perhaps to start. Under step number 3, you will identify the tasks on the basis of their urgency and importance. Now, by doing that, what happens is that you're really able to understand that which tasks require your quick attention, your urgent attention, and which tasks perhaps can wait for some time and you can come back to them later. So for example, when I have to prepare a lecture, and if that lecture is going to take place in the next 3 months, I know that it's important, but it can wait. Similarly, if there's a lecture which has to be delivered next week, I know it's important and it's urgent too, so I need to get that done ASAP. Applying the same example on you, if you have an exam which is coming up next week, that needs to be done urgently. Similarly for your projects and any other tasks you're doing. Step number 4. Once you have identified the task and once you have also organized the task based on their importance and urgency, now it's time for you to allocate time for each of those tasks. Now here, it's very important to be realistic, because what happens most of the times when you're feeling good about yourself, when you're feeling productive, focused, and you think that you're doing really well in terms of your work day, we tend to overpromise to ourselves that we'll be able to do all these tasks in, let's say, an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, or whatever the time scale is for you. And that's the concept referred to as hot and cold cognition. That means that when our moods are good, when I'm feeling good, when I'm feeling positive, when we are feeling happy, sometimes we overpromise, and we don't always feel that way. So it's very important for us to be realistic when it comes to giving ourselves the time frames and avoiding overpromising even with ourselves. Because what happens is that if we're overpromising with ourselves, if we are not being too realistic in terms of giving ourselves those deadlines, and surely we won't be able to achieve them, we will start feeling bad and down and negative about ourselves. That, oh, I was supposed to do this task in 2 hours, but yet I'm here, it's 4 hours and I'm still not able to get that done. So please make sure you're realistic and consider yourself as a human when you're allocating time for each of those tasks. And don't forget to add some leeway as well at the end. So for example, if you think that task can be completed in 2 hours, always give yourself 2.5, 3 hours. Just in case something happens, a phone call comes, you need to perhaps, see somebody, or there's some other thing which comes your way, so that you're still able to do that task in the given time without feeling bad about not doing it. And step number 5, at this point, if you have identified the task which were really difficult to do, referring to eating the frog video, and those tasks are important and urgent for you to do as well, pick them first and start doing them. No matter how you're feeling about it, no matter if you just want to sit down and stare at the wall for no reason, but just take that task and get that done, and then tick that off on your list, and you would feel amazing about that. And finally, be kind to yourself. Give yourself a good break between every task. So for example, if you're able to take one box on to-do list, give yourself some time to relax, to unwind, and then come back and begin again with the same energy and enthusiasm. And remember, these tips should be helpful, but if for some reason they are not really helping you, stop, reevaluate your situation, and see how you can improve it for yourself. Well, personally, I find these tips very useful, so I really hope these were useful to you as well. Thank you very much for watching this video, and please share your comments and feedback with me. And finally, please share with me if there's any topic on which you would like me to make my next video on. Thank you very much. Take care. Until next video. Bye.